I'm Vicky Francois. This is Bryan Luoma, CEO of Tahche, and the host of the Philippine Business Playbook. Today, we're going to talk about some news articles that we've come across and let you know our opinions on these conversations.
Before we jump into that, I just wanted to tell our lovely audience that I dragged Vicky out to a Rutgers football game.
Yes.
What did you think about it?
I really enjoyed it. I was down with the RU. And the Titans, they had a horse. The
Titans, Scarlet Knights. But
pardon me, RU family. But yes, the energy was amazing. I'm telling you, there were fireworks, there were cannons, there was, the energy was palpable. And one thing I will say is that we were blessed with wonderful weather. I'm talking late October, 80-degree weather.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful. And the people were really warm. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yes.
It was a great time. Unfortunately, Rutgers lost, but as an alum, we get used to that, unfortunately.
I wasn't even going to mention the loss because it was so close.
It was a
2 points.
2 points. It was
points.
a good game.
Good game.
A lot of fun. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Hope I didn't embarrass you too much at the game.
No, you did good. You were actually, wow. So speaking of football games, I do believe that there's a certain courtesy that people should have towards the opposing team. And I will say that Bryan exemplified how you should behave. There was some
in the
taunting.
stands.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was some taunting going on behind us, which was quite embarrassing. But Bryan was very chummy with the
Hey, I was
team.
just impressed that UCLA fans were there. It was
Yeah.
All right, I took up too much of your time already.
Oh, you're fine. So let's talk about this. So U.S. executives are ready to increase pay for employees to go back to the office, according to Robert Half's survey.
I actually heard about this, and it makes sense. You give a perk to employees to allow them to work from home, and then you're going to try and take that away with these return to office mandates. They've really put themselves in a pickle. And I think that most companies have realized that they need to get these people back in the office. I agree as well. I think that it's going to be very difficult to grow a company, to have the training that needs to be done and everything in a work from home setup. I think if you got experienced people that are doing stuff that they already know how to do, and you can have a lot of success in doing that. But training, hiring new people, mentorship, company culture, all that stuff is very difficult in a work from home setup. And so these companies are realizing that they have to do it. They're doing it in different ways. And it's interesting watching the different CEOs and how they try and accomplish that between what Microsoft is doing and what Tesla is doing and other people like that. It's really interesting the different strategies they're doing, and now they're realizing when all else fails, you just got to pay them more to come into the office, and that's basically what it is. But as you know. At Tahche, we've really emphasized having people work in the office. What we've noticed is, because we offer it both ways, as you know, and we've seen that clients that have their teams in the office grow multiple times faster than clients that have their teams working out of the office. And so when we're talking with clients about where they want to set up their teams, I'm always pushing to have them work in the office for the greatest success of their team. But we do it either way, and I'm not surprised that companies are realizing that they're going to have to pay people a little bit more to come into the office.
I find what was most surprising is that it says 66% of U.S. managers are willing to raise starting salaries to not only incentivize the people, but to also retain top talent and address skill gaps. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, 66%, more than half.
Yeah, well, unemployment's still at 4.2, 4.3%. Salaries are still going up. Wages increased 4%. over the past year compared to 2% inflation. That's great news for employees. Their wages are outpacing inflation, which is kind of exactly what the Fed wants.
Right.
And so in a tight labor market, you have to be, one of the levers you can pull is raising wages. And so that's what happens. And I think it's a good thing.
Right. And the raises are as high as 20%.
I mean, you just saw recently the dock workers union strike. They got really big wage increases. You see that with other union actions that are being taken. So there's a lot of wins for labor recently, and the economy keeps chugging along. It's amazing. I mean, the U.S. economy is amazing, where you're having ever increasing wages, but the stock market is hitting record highs every week. It's really an amazing thing to see, and I'm all for it.
That's great. It says about 48% of managers face difficulty meeting salary expectations in today's market. However, companies, just like Tahche, are offering benefits focused on well-being, work-life balance that will attract new hires. Do you want to highlight some of the things that Tahche does?
Well, it's really you have to be able to compete on things other than just salary.
Right.
Because if you get into just always paying the highest salaries, first of all, you may not get the best employees if that's the only thing you're focused on. Right. So you want to try and have those kind of extracurricular benefits as well, whether it's providing healthcare that's above and beyond, additional vacation time, making doing company culture stuff with activities for your team. One thing that we do at Tahche is we also have clubs for the teams. We have a basketball club and a running club, and there's a Toastmasters club if you want to work on your speaking. So we have all these extra stuff to provide these extra benefits. I mean, really exactly what the word says, benefits for the employees, so that not only are they looking at the salary number, but hopefully they're saying, well, we get these other benefits as well, these other opportunities that I may not get at another company. And if the benefits are unique enough or are good enough, these might be things that are really difficult for another company to compete against. They can add salary, obviously, but they may not have the wherewithal or the desire to do a basketball club, or the desire to do, Christmas party and summer party and Friday night pizza parties and other company culture stuff that creates camaraderie and relationships with their team and everything. And so those benefits sometimes are a little bit harder for other companies to compete with.
I think it's most important that we're addressing their interests, right? With the running club, it's so many team members who are avid runners and are so happy that we have this outlet for them that's outside of work, but they get to do it with their colleagues. And so some of them have become marathon runners. Some of them are very excited to say how many races they entered in 2024. The basketball team, it's just like having that, that boost in the office to say that this is my colleague. We may not work in the same company, but for the same client, but we're on the team together. And then I would even say, being in the Philippines, I really enjoyed Fresh Fridays, where vendors come in with fresh fruits. And, living here in the U.S., we don't necessarily get fruits with seeds in them that are fresh, like farm to table. So I really enjoyed Fresh Fridays.
Yeah, I think that when we were looking at starting those activities, clubs, and I know that we've loosely started volleyball clubs and esports and other things. It's really was a realization that for some people the parties aren't the most important thing, right. And so you got to look at, we've got 500 employees or so, and looking at the wide range of interests and what is important to each individual employee is different. And so we're lucky enough to have a significant number of employees so that you can offer these unique niche, maybe, experiences that are valued by, a smaller group of employees. But if you're able to then have multiple opportunities like that, you're hopefully touching a wider base of your staff. And so I'm excited about that. I think it's something great, and we're there'll be much
More to come.
much more to come on that for sure.
Great. Agreed. I wonder what club we'll start next. Leave us a comment.
Yes.
What should we start next?
Yes, absolutely.